In a quiet, leafy suburb far from the bustling city center, Jessica Hayes lived what seemed to be an ordinary life. She was well liked by neighbors and had a close circle of friends. But beneath that calm surface, Jessica was a woman driven by a fierce passion for truth and justice, a passion that would soon put her in unimaginable danger. Jessica was a young investigative journalist with a reputation for fearlessly uncovering stories that others wouldn't dare touch. Corruption, political cover-ups, and abuse of power were her specialties. Over the years, her relentless pursuit of the truth had earned her both praise and enemies, but nothing prepared her for the story that would test her courage like never before. For months, Jessica had been secretly investigating Thomas Grayson, a powerful local politician whose polished public image hid a darker side. Rumors swirled about bribery, illegal land deals, and intimidation tactics used to silence opposition. Whistleblowers had approached Jessica with damning documents, recordings, and first-hand accounts. She meticulously pieced together the puzzle, uncovering a web of lies that reached deep into the heart of the town's government. Jessica was determined to bring this story to light. She knew that exposing Grayson would shake the foundations of the community and threaten those in power. But her sense of duty outweighed the risks. She worked late into the night, carefully verifying facts and securing her evidence. The deadline for publishing her was drawing near. Despite the looming danger, Jessica maintained a brave front. She shared snippets of her life on social media, cheerful travel photos, warm interactions with friends, and moments of quiet reflection. Few knew how heavy the weight on her shoulders had become. Then, one cold December evening, just days before her planned publication, Jessica vanished without a trace. Neighbors recalled nothing out of the ordinary. No raised voices, no sounds of struggle, but when her friends tried to reach her, the calls went unanswered. Concern grew when Jessica failed to show up for appointments and stopped updating her social media accounts. When police arrived at her apartment, they found it emptied in a way that sent chills down their spines. Jessica's phone, wallet, and laptop, vital tools for her investigation, were missing. It was as if she had disappeared into thin air. Panic rippled through the town. Jessica wasn't just a journalist. She was a beacon of hope for many who wanted change, who would want to silence her. And why? An intense investigation began. Jessica, always cautious, had installed hidden security cameras around her apartment building after receiving several anonymous threats, warnings to abandon her investigation or face consequences. Police reviewed the footage with bated breath. A shadowy figure was seen entering the building late one night, moving with purpose. But before the camera could capture the face, the footage abruptly cut off. The official explanation was technical failure, but many suspected the cuts were deliberate, an attempt to hide the identity of whoever had followed Jessica. Days later, hope flickered in an unexpected place. A local dog walker discovered a small encrypted flash drive buried beneath the dirt near Jessica's favorite park. Jessica had been clever. She'd hidden this backup as insurance against the worst. With the help of a trusted hacker friend, the files on the drive were unlocked. Inside were emails, audio recordings, and photos that directly linked Thomas Grayson to bribery, illegal property deals, and intimidation of political opponents. The evidence was irrefutable. The flash drive became a beacon of hope for justice and a lifeline for Jessica's supporters. But the fight was far from over. Grayson wielded immense power. He and his allies in the media launched a counteroffensive, spreading misinformation, attacking Jessica's credibility, and pressuring law enforcement to slow down the investigation. Many in the town were frightened, torn between loyalty to the establishment and a desire for truth. The case became a battlefield for truth and deception. Months dragged on with little progress. Then, in a startling twist, a janitor cleaning an abandoned warehouse on the outskirts of the city found something that shook the case wide open. Jessica, herself alive but deeply traumatized. She was disoriented and suffering from memory loss, unable to fully recall the harrowing ordeal she'd endured. She was the silent witness who had survived captivity. Slowly, with the help of counselors and investigators, pieces of her memory returned. She began to identify faces, locations, and moments that would ultimately bring her captors to justice. Jessica's testimony, combined with the flash drive's evidence, gave prosecutors the strength to charge Thomas Grayson with multiple crimes: bribery, conspiracy, intimidation, and more. The trial gripped the community, exposing a tangled web of corruption that extended far beyond what anyone imagined. Jessica emerged as a symbol of courage and resilience, a reminder of the high price whistleblowers pay and the vital importance of standing up for truth. Her story inspired a movement demanding greater protection for journalists and transparency in politics. Though the scars of her experience remain, Jessica's bravery brought light to the darkest corners of power and injustice. Her journey serves as a powerful reminder: the quietest voices often carry the loudest truths. If you want to hear more gripping true crime stories filled with real-life drama and suspense, subscribe and hit the notification bell. Because sometimes the fight for justice begins with one brave voice.